E aí, gente, B.E.D Brewer aqui! Today we're going to tackle the most controversial topic in home brewing. That topic is when to put your first hop addition. So that first hop addition can happen at one of three times. 60 minutes before the end of the boil, so right after the hot break. At first wort, which is immediately after we sparge and get all of our wort in one vessel into our kettle. Or we can attempt to hop during the mash. So, I don't believe that the hops are actually activated by heat. I think it's basically a function of time. Now, one of the reasons why I don't believe that temperature does anything to the hops is because you can actually boil those hops for a good hour and a half or 2 hours and it doesn't boil the flavors out. In addition, if you put something into your boiling wort that has a boiling temperature less than what your wort is, all of that is going to vaporize very, very quickly. So it's not going to cause much effect. I mean, really, you're talking about something boiling over the course of 60 minutes. The difference between 60 minutes and 2 hours when you're talking about something changing from a liquid to a gas, if it's going to vaporize, it would have already done so. If you're interested in seeing the full taste test, I'm going to put it at the end of the video, so feel free to stick around for that. So my hypothesis is that my 60-minute hops and my mash hops are going to be the same because I mashed out for 60 minutes and I didn't do any additional sparging, so it only spent about 60 minutes in the mash. And again, in the boil, it only stayed there for 60 minutes. So I'm expecting both of these hops to taste the same, or both of these brews to taste the same, and maybe a little bit of difference with first wort, but you're talking about 20 minutes, so I don't really believe there's going to be any difference. My thought is that all three of these are going to taste the same. Now, we use the 60 minutes as the control. As with any good science experiment, you want to have one thing that you can relate everything to. So we chose the 60-minute hops as our control, again, because that's also the standard that most homebrewers, most beginning homebrewers start with. So first we had the 60-minute and we compared it to the mash hops. It might be a little bit stronger. And next, we tried the first wort hops. Oh, the bitterness, that is it got all of the bitterness from the hop. I was shocked at the difference that it made. I mean, first wort really does bring something to the table. My new theory is that there is an enzyme or something that breaks down the proteins and creates more flavonoids somewhere between the 155 degree temperature of the mash out and the 212 degrees of the boil. And I'm guessing that the 212 is at the top end, so this enzyme is probably released somewhere in the neighborhood of 190 degrees. That's just my theory. So definitely, first wort hops will take your beer to the next level. Definitely recommended by the B.E.D Brewer, based on science. Now, if you enjoyed today's episode, give me a thumbs up. And if you would like to learn more about beer dispensing, homebrewing ingredients, or homebrewing equipment, start now and subscribe. And until next time, stay hoppy.
All right, so I'll try the control first. Yeah, that tastes like basic, like how you would hop like a regular beer without like overdoing it or trying to like fit any style. It tastes like a little bit of the hops, but not really intense. Probably like around the amount of hops that you use for like a light beer or light ale or lager. So I'll try the two other ones and see how it goes. Yeah, this one does have a little sweetness to it, a little bit more than the control, but the hops profile is very similar. I mean, I don't see a lot of difference in this one. But it tastes really good, actually. Now let's try the second one. Yeah, definitely like less malty than that one, less sweetness, and a little less bitterness. So I think this one, I feel like a little less hoppy flavor on this one than the first one. I mean, I think that first one can edge a little bit the sample. It just probably not edging as much because it does have a little bit more of a sweet profile. It's a little bit more malt to balance, and then the sample. But I do see this one has a little bit more bitterness in hops than this one. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Right.
Patient is that the 60-minute hops and the mash hops are going to be about the same, and the first wort hop is going to be a little bit deeper because it got to spend about 30 minutes longer in the brew. But here we go. I'm going to just try the 60-minute hops here. And again, there was only one hop addition, so I'm not expecting a whole lot of aroma, although it is kind of noticeable. Very hop forward. The malt is almost imperceptible, so clearly I need to go ahead and sparge at least once. I didn't get very much sugar out of it. And here is the next one. I think I'm gonna do this one. Let's see. It might be a little bit stronger. A little bit deeper notes on the hops. And let's try the next one. Oh, the bitterness, that is a really, it got all of the bitterness from the hops, but there's none of the, I don't really notice a lot of the lighter characteristics. So this particular hop is supposed to be a little bit more floral, and that just tastes like bitter. So that's an interesting, yeah, that's very interesting. This one just tastes bitter, and the other one basically tastes the same as the 60-minute hops. So let's just see which one's which. And first, I'm going to go ahead and set these aside and let my buddy go ahead and give his a try.